Alright folks, today's Anthem content is going to be a little different from what you normally see on my channel. I typically do build overviews and guides and talk about different ways to engage with the game's content and the character classes in the game, but instead of doing that, I have to talk about something that is getting on my nerves quite a bit. Yesterday, Anthem's developers were supposed to put on a live stream to talk about the future content. They were adding a new stronghold and I'm assuming some other miscellaneous quality of life changes, and they were going to get on stream and talk about it for about an hour and give the community some information regarding what is happening with the game that they paid for. Unfortunately, some technical difficulties caused them to have to cancel the stream and reschedule it for next week. That in itself is not a problem. That doesn't bother me at all. Things happen. We live in a complicated world with a lot of moving pieces. It's not outside of the realm of possibilities for something to break and go wrong and need to be postponed. The thing that's getting on my nerves is the callousness of the responses that are being given surrounding this issue. If you go to the official Anthem game Twitter, you'll find the response. Freelancers were moving the Anthem livestream to Tuesday, April 23rd due to some unforeseen connection issues we're having in our streaming studio. We'll follow up with more details next week. It's a little bit dry. It's a little bit uncaring. It's a little bit unfeeling. There's no, we're sorry for the inconvenience. We know a lot of people were waiting with bated breath to see the new content that we've been working tirelessly to produce for you all. As paying customers, you deserve it because you paid for the game. You know, there's none of this extra, yeah, we feel the pain of the mistake right now. And people need that, especially given the state of the game. And it's a little bit frustrating, but besides that frustration of the response being incredibly callous, we also have the fact that it seems, look, I don't like getting into conspiracy theories. I really don't, but it feels like the Anthem developers forgot to do their homework, so they fed it to the dog. That's what it feels like. I'm sure that's not what actually happened, but that's what it feels like. Look, they planned on doing a live stream on April 17th, which means they had content to show off. They had things to talk about. They were going to get on mic for about an hour and go over some stuff with the people. Probably answer some questions, do a little back and forth with the Twitch chat and all that stuff. So what that tells me is that even if they can't live stream, they can present that information to people, but they're choosing not to. Why? Why are they choosing not to do a blog post, a Reddit post, some kind of AMA, ask me anything about the next patch? Why are they not releasing some screenshots to tease people on Reddit about the new stronghold? We don't even know what enemy type is in the stronghold, or at least I don't. And maybe that information is out there, but I haven't seen it. You know, there are so many things that they could do to instill in the community and the customers who paid for the game that was largely broken at launch, and it still is broken in many ways. There are things that they can do to instill trust and comfort in those people. And it's not hard. At least I don't feel it would be all that difficult for them to present the information that they were going to present in the live stream in some other method. But instead, we get this really callous response. It's cold, it's unfeeling, and none of the other channels, none of the other people involved in the game's development are coming out and saying, "Hey, we know this is frustrating. We're frustrated too, but don't worry, stick with us. We got you." And even if they say we got you, they got to back it up a little bit by saying, look, instead of doing the stream, we're going to present the information on Reddit. We're going to give you some screenshots. We're going to tease you guys. We're going to get a little video clip. I'm going to get my webcam and I'm going to record some stuff from my house. But like whatever you got to do to make people feel as if, look, we know this is bad, but it's going to be okay. Right now, that's not happening. And it's very frustrating. So what's my point in all this? My point is, the BioWare developers are doing a horrible job of instilling confidence in their customers and fostering a healthy community. People are upset, man. People want to know what's going to happen to the future of their game. And me as a content creator, I want to know if I'm wasting my fucking time making videos for this game, because despite the fact that I do this for enjoyment, there is also a financial component to it, and I don't want to just make content for a game that's not gonna go anywhere, right? There's a delicate balance for me as a content creator. I make content for games that I thoroughly enjoy playing, because I believe that allows me to make better, more engaging content. What I mean by that is, if I'm happy while I'm playing a game, if I'm excited to get up and discover new things about a game to share with the people that watch, then the content is going to be better. But if I'm just drudging through it and just, oh, this game sucks, but I gotta make the video because the paycheck is there, then it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be as good for anybody. It's gonna be misery all around. That's how I feel about it. And BioWare is not doing a good job of ensuring to people like me and to just regular Joe Schmo that boots up the game, that the game is gonna be there in a good way in the future. Like, I'll give you another example of this. They have a roadmap for Anthem's content release schedule, and that roadmap right now is basically fairy dust. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Let me pull it up right now. Let me pull it up. So I'm on the Anthem roadmap for April 2019, Stronger Together, and there is a huge list of things that are supposed to be added this month. Let me tell you something. It's April 18th, and ain't none of this shit been added yet, so I don't know what to expect, right? They say they're adding a mastery system, a shaper surge, legendary missions phase 2, the Sunken, which is the new stronghold, a weekly stronghold challenge, leaderboards, guilds, and there are 6 hidden events, hidden free play events that I don't even know if they've been there or if they've not been there. Like, did they happen and I missed them? I don't know what's going on. And there's no guiding hand of BioWare coming and saying, hey, this is what's going on. Don't worry. We got you. This is what's happening. It's all coming. Don't worry. Like, there's none of that. There's no comfort to be had with this game right now, and it feels freaking awful. And it's really unfortunate. It's fairy dust. This roadmap is complete and utter fairy dust. It's just it's really frustrating. It's frustrating, right? Generally speaking, I'm a pretty level-headed guy, right? I don't tend to get angry at stuff like this. I usually give people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to, oh, this thing isn't working. I said I was going to do it today, but I can't do it today. Can we reschedule? I'm pretty gracious with that stuff in my day-to-day life, and I'm gracious with that stuff in gaming as well. I'm willing to look past certain flaws within a game if, number one, the game is enjoyable despite its flaws, which Anthem generally is, but also if the developers behind the game are making it a point to continue to engage with the community and the consumer and the customer in a way that instills confidence, but also instills a sense of humanity and caring, then I'm willing to look past some of the flaws. Like, look, the answer, I don't know exactly what the answer is to any of this, but what I do know is that something that I firmly believe that the Anthem developers have to do 100% is they need to turn this roadmap into something more than fairy dust. They need to turn this callous response about their failed live stream into some genuine compassion. They need to turn it into confidence. They need to make this failure into a success. How do they do that? It's like I said already. They need to take all of the information that they were going to share in the live stream, turn it into a text document, get some screenshots, get an iMgur account or whatever, and show off what they were going to originally show off in the live stream on a Reddit post, on a blog post, on a YouTube video, something. Because right now it's bad. It's bad. It just feels inconsiderate. That's the main thing. It feels inconsiderate, and it's super frustrating. And at this point, I'm just ranting, but I kind of had to get this out. All right, I had to speak on this because it doesn't bode well for Anthem right now. And as someone who was thoroughly enjoying the game, both from a content creation standpoint and from just a gamer standpoint, right? Because if I wasn't enjoying Anthem, I would have stopped making content for it a long time ago. But number two, it's also because if I see a game is performing well on my channel, I'm more inclined to make videos for it, right? And Anthem, people are enjoying my content for it, so that makes me more inclined to continue making it, to continue pushing through, despite the flaws with the game. I told somebody in a comment the other day that if I wasn't a content creator, I would have stopped playing Anthem probably at about the 150-hour mark, right? Which is still a decent amount of time. But I have pushed on, and I'm getting close to 300 hours because I'm trying to make that content. But right now, I'm in this weird space where I feel as if the game is just going to shut the fuck down. And maybe that's just speculation. Maybe that's just me, taking a thought and running with it. But when you look at this roadmap, when you look at this big pile of fairy dust, the thought of Anthem disappearing forever and just never getting another update doesn't feel outside of the realm of possibilities. When there's no communication from the people that are making the game about when players can expect to see the mastery system, new items, a shaper surge, legendary missions phase 2, the sunken, the new stronghold, guilds, leaderboards, when there's no information given to the community, to the customer, to the content creators about when they can see these things, it's not unreasonable for them to think, is this ever going to come out? Like, are you guys, like, is this stuff even real? And I do recall that at one point that they said the roadmap that they have is tentative, that the dates are subject to change. Well, by God, man, you got to stay on top of it. Like, if you're going to give somebody tentative plans, you got to continuously update people on the status of those plans. You can't just be like, yeah, the plans are tentative for April, and then on April 30th at 11:59 p.m., it's like, oh, yeah, we got to push that back to May. It's like, it's over. I'm recording this on April 18th. April is basically over right now. I know there's 12 days left, or 13 or whatever. It's 12. But April is basically over. So, what's good? What's going on? What's the plan? That's what people want to hear right now. It's not just me. It's not just, and some people will push against that and say, oh, you're just being impatient. You're just being a whiny, entitled gamer looking for answers right away. They're having problems. Look, cut the nonsense, okay? It's not about entitlement. It's about people paying for a product and wanting information about that product. They put out these roadmaps. They tell people this is what's coming to the game. This is how it's going to go. This is what's going to happen. And people are rightfully curious about what the status of the product that they paid for is. And one of the arguments that I see all the time on Reddit and forums and Twitters is like, of course the developers aren't going to comment here and talk to the community. The community yells at them every time they try to speak and they insult them. Yeah, that's the internet. Welcome to the World Wide Web. It's been a thing for a long time. You can't run away from the vitriol of the internet and Reddit and the trolls. You have to confront it head on. You call people out when they're saying things inappropriate. You confront people when they're saying things that are wrong, and you call them out on their nonsense. But also you talk to the people that are waiting with bated breath and being respectful, and you tell them the information that they want to hear. And obviously, if there's like, oh, we can't speak about this now, NDA is like, it's not ready, blah, 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 we don't want to overpromise it. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of nuance in it, right? But the point at the end of it all for me, for this particular issue with the live stream cancellation, is that the developers of Anthem were planning on presenting certain information on April 17th, and that information is getting pushed back. And given the climate of the game, given the state of the game, they should present the players with the information that they were going to give out in the stream in some other format as a courtesy. The response that they gave on their official Twitter was very callous. There was no apology in it. There was no reassurance in it. It's just not good. It's just not good. So, look, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do. But if they don't present information to the community, to the customer, then I don't know. So that's gonna be it for today, man. I know this was a lot of rambling and it was a little bit incoherent. Hopefully, maybe you can get something out of that, but we'll see. That's where my head is at. I'm super disappointed with the state of Anthem right now. The lack of communication, I find it very disturbing. So with all of that said, there is plenty more content coming on iBluairJgR. Despite the fact that Anthem isn't going super well right now, it's a bit of a sinking ship. I ain't going down with the ship. I got a life raft ready, and we about to sail onto some other stuff. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.